Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. I'm excited that you have decided to join the second day of the 5 day forgiveness challenge. A lot of really positive feedback last night, so looking forward to the conversation tonight. And again, if you've got questions, ideas, suggestions, please feel free to message those to me. I should be able to see it. We're broadcasting both on Periscope and on Facebook, and this has actually been kind of entertaining for me trying to make this work. But if you've got questions, feel free to message me. But tonight we're going to talk about how to forgive when they don't apologize. So last night we started off the 5 days with forgiving ourselves, and we know how important that is. And I challenged you guys to make sure that you wrote some things down that were positive about yourself and that you challenged yourself, that you said those things to yourself today, and that you say those things all week long. So I want to know how many of you guys did that. If you did, you can post messages, you can heart, you can do whatever. But I'd love to know that you did that because tonight's challenge is going to be a little more difficult for you, and you'll see why in just a minute. So many of us go through life thinking that things are like the movies. We believe that if somebody hurts our feelings, that they are going to recognize their faults and they're going to apologize to us and really beg that we forgive them. And we all know that that's not true. We know that that's usually not how it happens. We also know that sometimes people hurt us and they take that to their grave. They pass away and we never get to hear them say the two words that we long to hear: I'm sorry. So how do you deal with that? How can you continue your life knowing that this person has hurt you and that they never acknowledge that they hurt you? So here's a challenge to that. Well, number one, as I said, if somebody's dead and gone, there's no way that you're going to get the I'm sorry back. So you're going to carry around the pain for the rest of your lives, and they are no longer living. So how do you let that pain go? And if you remember last night, we talked about the fact that really forgiveness is about yourself. It's not about the other person. So it's really about you letting go of that pain. Again, if you harbor that pain, you carry it around with you, you then transfer that pain to other people. And that's really not fair. It's not healthy. And it puts you into a cycle of relationships that oftentimes are either they either don't last or they're oftentimes just miserable relationships. So I would say make sure that you let that go. The other thing I wanted to say is that, again, you really want to set yourself free from the pain. If you set yourself free from the pain, then you are able to then look at that person that hurt you and say, you know what, it's not about you, it's about me. It's really never been about them because the truth is, in forgiveness, you're not absolving them of what they did wrong to you. You're not saying that it's okay that they hurt you. What you're saying is that, yes, you did something that really hurt me. But in the end, I'm a much bigger person than that. I'm much better than that. I deserve more than that. So I'm not going to walk around carrying this pain that you either intentionally or unintentionally caused in my life. I am going to live a life that's fulfilled. And with forgiveness, you can do that. So that's why it's really important that you realize today that you may never get the apology that you're looking for. Many of us are walking around that we wish our parents would apologize for things that they did to us, or our exes would apologize. And again, it may never happen. Just know that if you let it go, if you forgive them, you're not saying that they didn't what they did was not wrong. What you're saying is that what the wrong that they did to you is not going to hamper your life. It's not going to hold you back from what God has for you. So that's the most important thing about forgiving people when you don't get the apology. So tonight's challenge, and this is going to be a tough one, and I'm giving you a couple of outs. Tonight, what I want you to do, if there's somebody that's hurt you and you've never gotten the apology from them, I want you to write them a letter. I want you to write in that letter all the things that they did that hurt you. Now, I want you to get that off of your chest because for many of us, we walk around with that pain and we never even address it. We never even talk about it. We make smart comments or what have you, but we never ever just detail out exactly what happened and why it hurt us so much. So I want you to write that letter, write it to that person. Now, you can send that letter to that person if you'd like, or you could send it to me, or for that matter, you could send it to yourself. And obviously, options 2 and 3 allow you to not have to deal with that person. And in some cases, it's probably smart that you not send a letter to them. But if you want to send that letter to me, inbox me and I can give you the best address to send it to. Um, oh, and thank you, Faye. Forgiving others is really such a freeing experience for self first and second grace from God. Amen. Absolutely. Thank you, Faye. Um, that is very true. So if you send the letter out, what that does is you've literally taken that pain off of your chest. You've put it into a letter and you literally have delivered it away from you. That's why this is so important. And if you want to send it to me, inbox me. I can give you an address or email address, or you can write the letter out, message it to me through Facebook, what have you. And what I really want you to do is I want you to think about this letter, make 2 copies. So that way, the one that you mail out, I want you to mail one out and I want you to keep one. Because what I want you to do is after we've gone through this challenge and after you've really thought about forgiveness, I want you to go back to that letter 6 months from now. And I want you to read it again and see if you still carry or harbor those same feelings of pain that you had when you wrote the letter tonight on February the 2nd. So again, I want to thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about truly letting go. That in order to forgive, you have to forget. And I know that sounds a little different than what people talk about, but we're going to talk about how you can forgive and forget, and that you can truly let things go. Then Thursday night, what do you really need to be forgiving yourself? So have you caused pain to someone else that you want to make sure that that you apologize to them in a proper way? And then last but not least, how do you model forgiveness for others? Not passing it along. And again, I see quite a few comments, so thank you, Miss J. Challenge accepted. And yes, I even see somebody saying they want to take my advice. Thanks. And so here's what, again, I want you guys to the challenge for tonight is write the letter, send it to either that person or send it to me, make a copy of it, and also that way you can reflect back on it in the next 6 months. And until tomorrow night, be blessed and know that we are 2 days into the forgiveness challenge, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. Thank you for dialing in. Make sure that you share this. Make sure that you pass it along. The good thing is that it's on Facebook, so it's archived for a while as opposed to Periscope where it kind of goes away after 24 hours. But you can definitely share it with your friends. And I'd love to get your feedback on how this is going for you. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night. Thanks.